Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing some repotting. I've got all these pothos slash devil's ivy plants that I have propagated, and I'm now going to combine them all into one big luscious plant. So I did propagate all of these from a mother plant that I had that was suffering root rot, and unfortunately she has passed away. But never fear, because we have these little babies to carry on her memory. All we are using today is a general purpose potting mix that I've got here mixed with some fertilizer. It is about, I want to say about 80% general purpose potting mix mixed with about 20% of a succulent slash cacti mix, and that is just because I want it to be well draining. I don't want these cuttings to suffer the same fate as the mother plant. We want to try and stay away from root rot as much as we can, so I also just like to mix in a little bit of well-draining potting mix just to be sure. Alright, so what we're going to do to get started is to simply fill our pot about, I want to say halfway with our potting mix. Okay, so my pot is now about halfway full of potting mix, so we can just sit that to the side for now. I'm just going to use this so I don't make a huge mess all over my floor. And I'm just going to, first of all, I'm going to start with the biggest cutting. So obviously this one is the biggest one that I have, so I'm going to start with this one because I want to place this nice big one in the middle of the pot. So I'm just going to gently off that dead leaf. Since these are in tin cans, I am able to kind of squeeze just to loosen up the soil a little bit, and then I'm just going to gently try and tip as much of the soil out as I can, and eventually the plant should follow. This one is a little bit root bound, so struggling a little bit, but we'll get there. Very dry, I might add, as well. So due for a water, but that's okay. All right, so as you can see there, we've got some nice healthy roots. I'm just going to loosen them up a little bit so they can spread their wings once they're in the new pot. No root rot in sight, which is absolutely amazing. As I just mentioned, this is actually quite dry, but that's okay. All right, now I'm just going to move that to the side, bring my pot in, and I'm just going to make a little well in the center. Just popping that one in and covering up those roots just slightly. We will pop more potting mix on top, obviously, but just for now, just covering them up a little bit. All right, now we can move that to the side for now. I'm going to bring back this so I don't make more mess, and then I'm going to go with some smaller ones that can be placed around the outside. I'm not actually sure if all of these are going to fit in that pot, but we'll see how we go. Gently shaking that one out. This one is quite moist because I just watered it yesterday. Great timing, Kate. There we go. Again, we've got some nice healthy roots there. So I'm just going to place that in there for now while I take some of these out of these pots as well. Cans, I should say. All right, lucky last. I'm just going to tip this one out. See how its roots are looking. Beautiful. Another set of healthy, beautiful roots. Okay, so that's all of the cuttings that I've got to be repotted today. hands a bit. Just move that to the side and bring our pot in. And now I might just zoom up a little bit for you guys so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so now that I've got all my cuttings, I'm just going to remove those from the pot and just lay them out on the floor there. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cuttings that I want to pot. So I'm going to try and evenly space them around this bigger cutting that I have already potted. So just like we did for the middle one, we're just going to make some little holes. And we're just gently placing the cutting in and then slightly covering those roots. Don't stress if you can still see the roots slightly because we're going to go back in and top up this pot after everything is in. But just repeating that with all the cuttings. So making a little well, popping the cutting in and then slightly covering the roots as best you can with the soil that you've got in the pot already. Lucky last. In it goes. Perfect. Now all we're going to do is go in with some more potting mix and top this baby up. Just move any leaves out of the way as you go so you're not burying the leaves. Obviously we want the leaves to be seen, so try not to bury any of the leaves. Just adjusting your cuttings as you go, not pressing down too hard because we don't want to suffocate those roots. We don't want the soil to be too compacted in there because that also affects the water getting to your roots as well. So try not to push down too much. We're just making sure that they are nice and secure and just going in and topping up with our potting soil. If you do find such as, I don't know, you guys probably can't see, but you will probably notice on your cuttings that they will start to develop some aerial roots or nodes. You'll be able to see where the nodes are. They're like those little ridges that you see usually at the end of a leaf where the leaf shoots out from. If you do see that you are starting to, or your cuttings are starting to develop any aerial roots, I definitely suggest placing them so those aerial roots are touching the soil. This means that those roots will eventually grow into the soil and strengthen your plant and then therefore make your plant healthier and it's more likely to grow. So I said before about try not to bury the leaves, but if you do want to bury your stems under the soil, that is totally fine. That will also help promote growth in your plant and try and help to grow those aerial roots or those roots from the nodes of your plant, and that will promote growth. And obviously the more roots your plant has, the healthier it will be. So we always want to try and promote the growth of roots as much as we possibly can. So as you can see, we are all done. It's already looking like a beautiful, luscious plant. Now, obviously this is multiple plants in one, but that is the perfect way to create a big, lush looking plant. And not just with a pothos or a devil's ivy plant, literally any plant that you can propagate, you can put multiple cuttings into the same pot to give the illusion, I suppose, of a huge, big, healthy plant. So I've just given her a good watering. She's looking mad fun, but I just wanted to elaborate before when I was saying to plant the cuttings so the nodes or the aerial roots are touching the soil, because again, that is going to promote growth of roots, and the more roots your plant has, the stronger and healthier it will be. So If you find that your plant is a little bit unruly and the vines don't want to sit flush with the soil, or they're not staying down, or no matter how much soil you put on top, they just keep sticking back up, I've got a tip. Girls, most of you will probably have 1 or 2 or 1,000 of these lying around at home. Guys, maybe not so much, but you can easily find these at your local supermarket. And that is basically a hairpin. So we are using, let me get closer because this is important. Okay, sorry I'm so close. Don't get scared, but this is important. We are using a hairpin. We are not using a bobby pin. We are using a hairpin. And this, so it looks like this. So as you can see, the two, what would you call those, prongs are separated, so they're not flush with each other. They're not squeezing anything, so when you place this over your vine, it's not going to get squashed or damaged. So this is important. You do not want to be using your normal everyday bobby pin because that is going to damage your plant. You want a hairpin like this where the prongs are separated and they have a gap in between. Okay, so I just wanted to touch base with that because this is important, and I didn't want you to use a normal bobby pin and say, Kate, my plant is damaged, or my vine split because it was too tight, or blah, blah, blah. You need to use these hairpins. It's a hairpin, I think it's called a bun pin or something like that. But basically that's what it looks like. So that's what you need to look for when you go to your local supermarket or hair supply store or something like that, okay? All right, so once you've got the correct hairpin or something that looks similar to that, we are going to find the vine that you want to peg down, basically. So which one will you guys be able to see? Let me turn this around. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see, but this vine here is not sitting flush. The soil is here and the vine is sticking up. So we want to try and make it so those nodes where those leaves are coming out from are touching the soil because we want to promote root growth. So what we're going to do is gently, and I repeat, gently rearrange this vine as gently as possible. We don't want to be forcing it into any position that it doesn't want to go because that's going to damage your vine. You're going to end up snapping it, okay? So just gently. If it really doesn't want to go there, don't make it go there because you're going to damage your plant. But kind of just go with the flow of how your vine is sitting. Rearrange other vines around it if you have to. And try and get it so those vines... Oh my God, Siri just thought I was talking to her. Anyway. No, as we were. So you're going to place your vine down flush with the soil, gently. Again, I repeat, gently. So you're going to take your pin and you're going to place it down over the vine, gently, pushing it down, burying it a little with the soil if you have to. Or if you want to cover that node or the aerial root with a little bit of soil, that's totally fine as well. And you'll see that that pin just helps that vine to stay in place. So now that vine there that was originally sticking up and was not in contact with the soil, it's now in contact with the soil because that pin is holding it down. So that is just a little tip to help promote some root growth in your plants. Specifically in your devil's ivy, or this technique would work for any kind of ivy or any kind of plant that is a trailing plant that has nodes or aerial roots. So just a little tip for you guys. There you have it. We've repotted our devil's ivy. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, of course, and make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on your notifications so you will be notified of my future videos. If there is any content that you would like to see, please comment it down below. I am always open to your suggestions. But until next time, I will see you in my next video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Be kind and stay safe, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.